Yeah, we're
Hello, welcome to Pixel Sprites and Nonsense, and we're at episode 18.
18.
And
Hey,
yes,
we are
have,
adults now.
Well, no, that's 21.
In the US, but over here we're adults.
Oh, right, true. Okay. I'm Metzman. With me is Vash
Hey,
and Benjiro.
Hey.
All right, let's get this started.
oh boy.
You can go.
We're back.
Okay, welcome back. Well, today we have some things to discuss. The biggest thing, of course, is Sony's PlayStation's showcase. That was last Wednesday.
Yes.
Shoney Showcase?
Sony showcase. Yes, I'm having a speech independent. I can't
I
speak
have the
today.
same thing sometimes.
That's fine.
Yes. Yeah, so we have the PlayStation showcase to discuss. There's a little bit of news if we can get to it. And yeah, we'll start with the usual thing of what we have been playing this week. So, Benjiro, what have you been playing this week?
So I played everything except for Zelda. I did play a little bit, but I don't know. It wasn't in my mind space this week. It's a very slow going game. And I needed just some quick gameplay. So I decided that because I have the PSVR 2, that I was going to buy a PSVR game each and every month. At least if there was something that was even slightly interesting or caught my fancy. So I bought Runner this time, which is a pretty old game.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, where's the screen? There we go. Did we talk about Runner before?
Yep.
Probably.
It was during
Since
one of
there's
the...
not that many games.
Oh, yeah. They probably showed it. But yeah, it's basically like this cyberpunk-ish Akira kind of thing. So you're on a motorcycle, you have two guns, you control the cycle with your thumbsticks, and you have to have one of the guns inserted in your bike to actually control it. You can also just take both of them out and go into a slow-mo mode. It doesn't look that great, but it's a lot of fun. It's pretty much roguelike because your power-ups change each and every time. It's a game you can play sitting down, so it doesn't instantly feel like a workout, which is usually a thing with VR, that most of it is just basically a workout.
Yeah.
Right.
The voice acting is pretty good, so Steve Blum is in there. There are some big names in here that are actually doing the voices. It's just, it's kind of... It's a lot of fun. You can control the speed of your bike, so if stuff is catching up to you, you can actually press your brakes. They would go ahead of you, and you can start shooting them, and they will start exploding. You can just shoot some garbage trucks, and then the garbage would fall out, which would damage the enemies. Okay. So it's actually a lot of fun. It looks like crap, though. It doesn't look good. Even for a VR game, it doesn't really look good. It's very stylized. The cutscenes are
very very 80s 90s.
Are very 80s anime. But it's just fun.
So it reminds me a little bit of Kojima's early game. What's it called? Police
Snatcher.
Snatcher.
Police Knots or Snatcher.
Yeah.
One of those.
That kind of aesthetic.
Yeah. With the anime cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool. I'm enjoying it. It was pretty cheap. I think it was $15 and it wasn't even on sale. So I wasn't expecting a lot out of it.
Yeah.
But for $15, it's definitely a fun experience. It's also it's not just available on PSVR. You can also get it on Steam, I think. So if you have VR, it's definitely one to check out, especially if you're looking for something you can play in VR while sitting down, because this game is something you can play and be more relaxed instead of having it be a physical exercise.
Okay.
So that's...
Sorry.
That's it for me. No, that's fine. If you want to ask a question or talk about it, that's okay.
No, it's like
interject.
I think I played most of my VR games sitting down, actually. Games like Alex. I think I started with standing just to get immersed into it. but it's very like you can just. I could shut my headset to like if sitting down, then standing up, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
good workout.
I have to agree, but most of the games I play in VR are very exercise heavy. Boneworks, you kind of need to stand because otherwise you just can't reach anything. So when I played Epicon Day, that was one of the games that actually gave me extreme nausea. I couldn't play Boneworks for more than like 45 minutes. And I played a lot of Beat Saber.
Right.
But we'll get to that. So they also, we talked about it before. They created a prelude that was free. We played it on Steam. We actually played it during a podcast at a certain point in time, and that's Halls of Torment.
Yeah.
So they released a full game now. So it's only $5.
Early access. Yeah.
It's only $5.
So sort of. So I picked it up, and it's a lot of fun.
It is.
I still have to pick it up too.
Yeah, you get the achievements you would have unlocked from the prelude. You get those straight away. So so that's kind of cool.
That's nice.
It's just another bullet hell auto shooter. Very much akin to Vampire Survivors, but it's more of a Diablo-esque instead of Castlevania-esque, I guess.
Yeah, it's an auto survival shooter, aka an ass game. Yeah.
Oh, they have acronyms for it now.
Well, no, it's just.
I think the acronym is ass, though.
Yeah, it is ass.
Yeah, it's ass.
The game itself is.
Let's not
ass,
use that too much.
Yeah. I like I like these type of games. They're very fun on the Steam Deck as well because they're not very involved and they're pretty easy to run on there, so you can just play them in handheld.
Yeah,
but it's just
turn on auto shooting stuff. Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So because I was sticking with VR and it was free to try if you have PlayStation now, which I do. Apparently, I'm super deep into the PlayStation architecture lately. So I played some Humanity. And Humanity is a puzzle game that is very much akin to Lemmings.
Yep.
Except that Lemmings is more stressful than Humanity is because it doesn't really matter if you die or not, or if your Lemmings die because they literally just respawn. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It only matters for two specific units, which you pick up along the way, which are golden guys. They're a little bit bigger than the regular guys.
Yeah.
And it only matters for those two. And if you lose them, they're gone and you have to restart the level.
Right.
Okay.
But it's just very... it's a very chill game. So I haven't played a lot. I think I played the prelude up until the point where you go into the main game. So all I did so far was basically decide on direction, and I learned how to jump them and that they can climb certain areas. So if one of the blocks are actually striped, then the characters will actually climb them, and if they're too high up, they will get full damage, so they'll die, and you have to work around that. So I played it in VR, and I played it without VR, and I think it's exceptionally better without VR.
Oh, okay. That's
because in VR, basically what it does is it just puts you there. You're the camera. That's what you are. You see everything from a top-down perspective, and you can walk around the structure. You can turn the structure using your analog sticks. But controlling the camera when it's not your entire body is way easier than to turning around corners and ducking and trying to figure that out. And usually, and because the level is moving, but you're not, you're also getting a little bit of vertigo.
Yeah.
So it's not great. So I played it in VR yesterday, and I was like, okay, this is a thing. Also, the game doesn't default to VR. You have to select VR in the main menu. Then you can go to VR mode. But the game just defaults to regular, even if you have your VR headset attached. Yeah. So that doesn't matter. So that was kind of a giveaway. Like, this game is not really made for VR. It's more of a tacked-on thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little selling point from, hey, you can also play this on VR.
Exactly. Yeah. Like where VR is the definitive way to play Tetris Effect, for example, it doesn't it doesn't feel that way for Humanity. So it works fine as a puzzle game. Without VR, it's fair. It's a lot of fun. It's weird. It's different. Just trying to make them work. There's like level creators that you can create your own levels. You can play levels other people created, so it has like infinite possibilities. People are probably gonna go ham on that and create some really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So infinite possibilities and infinite. I think there's an infinite gameplay loop there if you're really into this kind of stuff. I'm okay with puzzle games, but they usually don't hold my attention for very, very long. So I'll probably play it for a few more days, and we'll see where it goes from there. Maybe I'll get hooked, but that usually doesn't happen with puzzle games for me, at least.
Right.
It's just not my go-to game genre.
Cool.
Okay.
And obviously, because it came out, and that's the only reason I played a lot of PSVR this week. And I know we're going to talk about it later, but they released Beat Saber, and I instantly bought it. I used to play the PC version back when I had the Index, but I sold my Index because I wasn't really using it. It wasn't convenient to constantly hook it up to my PC. So I sold that, and now I have the VR2, which didn't have Beat Saber up until this week. So I bought it. I included the Queen pack because, well, it's Queen. And it's just a lot of fun. I've been playing that for a good few hours this week.
Nice.
So I think that's the most game I've played in the last week or so. My work has been busy. It's been really busy, but really happy Beat Saber showed up for PS VR, and it works like a charm.
Yeah, and that really is a exercise if you want it to be.
Yeah, so I have to.
It's a game you can't play sitting down.
No, and I have to wipe off the headset because there's like sweat there. Also, Marco started laughing at me because there was an imprint from the headset right on my forehead, so it was like all red. So she started laughing because I'm like I'm just silly. But yeah. Beat Saber's back. I'm enjoying that. It's kind of telling that Beat Saber is the thing that made me put that headset back on. It's actually kind of bad news. So hopefully that they'll do something more. The showcase didn't convince me. We'll get into that later, but it didn't really convince me except for this. But that's it for me.
Okay.
All right.
Vash, up to you.
Yeah. Well, the big thing for me this week was a game that I've been looking forward to for a while, which is Warhammer 40K Bolt Gun.
Yes.
And I know all three of us picked it up.
Yeah, we all played this game.
But I know that I'm the furthest ahead right now because I just love it so much. Also,
you have more time than we do.
Okay, fine, fine. Yes. But it's a classic. Yeah, it's Doom from 1993 with 3D environments and sprite-based enemies and lots of guns. You know, Warhammer 40K universe. We have melter guns, las rifles, bolters, heavy bolter. So much fun stuff. And
it's so hard.
It is a difficult game. Yeah, I played it a bit on hard, but that was really hard.
I started at medium because I just wanted to get through it a little bit.
At some point, yeah.
It's just the first time because I just had bad memories of playing Blood on hard. This last couple of weeks, I was like, let's tune it down for this first time.
I ignored
easy.
Yeah, I ignored your warning, and I did start this game on hard. And when you get to the third level, you have this. You have to fight these Nurgle demons.
Yeah,
and there's like a giant gauntlet where you have to fight like 20 enemies at the same time. Some of them are Terminators, so they're tanky as hell. They hurt like hell, and I tried to do that on hard. I think I died like 4 times, and that was all I had time to play.
Yeah. It's not an easy game, especially when you at some point you're going to run into aspiring champions, and they are pretty difficult of themselves. But when you take them down, they might turn into chosen champions, and they're going to come at you real hard, and that's a lot of fun, and difficult and stressful, and I really like it. It's it's great. There's also a taunt button.
Yeah.
And I know that Rahul Kohli, he's kind of becoming a bigger actor these days, but he really wanted to do something for this game, so they invited him to do some spoken lines. I know that he said that he recorded like 4 hours of lines, just one-liners, and
nice.
So there's a lot of variation in that, and one of the biggest one that one of the lines that really stuck with me that I also tweeted about this week was "My shield is disgust." It's just perfect.
Yeah, I had that one too, I think.
Yeah. And also my armor is contempt, and that's meant literally because you have health and armor.
Yeah.
But the armor is just contempt. Mm-hmm. It's not really armor. So it's not a shield. Like
no, it's the hate for chaos.
Yes,
that shields the Ultramarine.
Yeah, and it's just great. There's different enemy types. Some are down with one shot. As you said, there are Chaos Space Marines, and you're gonna run into flying enemies, and everything just works about this game. The speed, the fact that you can target an enemy and just press right click or V. And things slow down, so you have time to line up.
Yeah.
And then you just attack them with your chainsword, which is a basic staple of Warhammer 40K. And everything just works so well for this game.
Yeah, it's really fluid.
Yeah, there's several secrets to be found. Some are easier to find. Some you just run across. Some are in open air. But there's also definitely ones that are more difficult to find, so that just hey, let's do another run through and find all the secrets.
Yeah, I wasn't too bothered myself with secrets. I found a few by accident.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and also because the first level I was like, okay, I play a lot of boomer shooters, but sometimes or every boomer shooter does their secrets differently, right?
Yeah.
So some of them are just a piece of wall that you have to open up somewhere randomly. So I wasn't sure what kind of secrets there were in this one, but it's it's blind corners, and sometimes there is walls you can open. It's a little bit of a mix of everything, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely a mix of everything, and that works really well. What I also like is that some of the secrets are just open, like containers.
Yeah.
So hey, there's a container there. Just walk around and see if it's open. If it's open, there's a big chance that it's a container. Otherwise, there might be health or contempt in there. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, usually there's a power up as well if you find a secret.
Power up. There's definitely power ups for your weapons. Every weapon has a strength level, which is akin to the they're all the same as in the Warhammer tabletop game and the war game. And you can get upgrades that, for the entire level, it just gets a higher strength level and that sort of stuff. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I also love how your character is it's bulky and very heavy feeling. And you kind of bounce around.
Yeah.
And
it's a stomp when you walk.
Yeah. And because you're heavy, you have this momentum. So sometimes when you bounce against the wall, you have to be careful that you don't fall off the level.
Oh yeah,
because you're just like this block of metal walking around.
Yeah,
so it's kind of funny.
Yeah, speaking of that, you can also run.
Yeah,
normal run. You already move quite fast. You stomp around the level. The camera shakes. There's that walk is awesome, but then there's the run. And there's also a special, ability with a boost, and that can push enemies to the side while you just move forward real fast. And that's using F is the basic button, basic keybind. But it, for smaller enemies, they just get crushed.
Yeah.
And it's also fun to jump on people because you're so heavy.
Yeah, you can Mario jump them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
It's one of those things that happens in the sort of tutorial level where you fall down a mine shaft on top of a guy. So just to show you, you're a block of metal crushing people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're an enhanced human being with the gene enhanced with the gene seed. So you're larger than life. You're like 2.5 meters tall, and then you have the armor on. So that adds also to your height, which is really damn cool. So you tower over people as a space marine.
There's a secret. There you go.
Oh yeah, there's multiple secrets, of course.
Yeah, I found this one.
Yeah, there's damage enhancers and
there's another one.
Oh, I didn't find that one.
Okay, that's good because I didn't know that one.
See, that's one of those random walls. I just pressed use and I was like, oh, okay. Well, there's another one. There's two secrets like right next to each other.
Oh yeah.
So usually they're kind of spread out, but this one.
You have two different grenades. You have the crack grenade, which is a smaller explosive, more personal. And then there's the larger frag grenade that just, large area of explosion, lots of death. And there's also the vortex grenade that is a secret, and that is just sucking everything up in the area, which is really cool to see.
I love the little damage outline that you get when you throw a grenade, so you can see what area is affected.
Yeah,
it's really neat.
Yeah, that's really helpful so that you don't get hit yourself.
Yeah.
There's a plasma gun in there that also does splash damage, so you don't use it too up close. And there's like munitions boons and that sort of stuff. It's really good so far.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm already in chapter 2 and quite advanced in chapter 2, I think. So, yeah. But there's a lot of challenge. Like the purge areas that I mentioned before, that's like the gauntlet. Enemies keep respawning.
Right.
So they keep spawning during that period of time until you take down a certain enemy, which is usually the strongest one there is at the time. There might be 2 or 3 of them. So that's and that's the biggest challenge. So that's just confined to a small area. Oh, sorry, confined to a small area that the screen goes like purplish, and then enemies come out. They warp in, and that works. It works really well. It gives a little more challenge, and I don't have.
It's a very combat focused FPS.
Yeah,
it's like a little bit more towards like something like Painkiller, for example, where you have this you have these linear paths, but then there have these arena style like combat sections.
Yeah. I mean, there's a story, but it's not really that important.
No.
Fun part about the story is I have played Warhammer 40k Space Marine.
Yeah.
That came out a couple of years ago, thanks to THQ, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
It's no longer THQ, of course. But this actually continues on that story.
Yeah.
So it's set after the events of that game.
It's interesting because there's a Space Marine 2 coming.
Yep.
So I wonder if that picks up after this game.
Might be. I don't know. You're playing a different character anyway. So you're not playing the Titus from Space Marine. But it's fun that everything is sort of connected. Like all of the Warhammer games are connected. This weekend there's the Skulls thing happening again. That happens every year. And so there's some more news out from all Warhammer stuff. So Warhammer Age of Sigmar these days, and Warhammer 40k. There's even a new RTS coming out for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, which is
they're going ham with the Warhammer games right now.
And there's a card game there. Yeah, but you know how they sell their games, right? That's why they're or how they sell their license.
Mm-hmm.
They sell their license per chapter.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why you see a lot of different developers handling a lot of different chapters or just different parts of the universe.
Yeah. Which is really cool.
Yeah, so they basically do a blanket, or they just cut up their license and they sell it to multiple companies, and then they do their own.
And for each genre.
Yeah, but they do want to keep creative control of the story, so everything needs to be approved.
Yeah, so everything is connected in all those games. Everything is basically canon, which is
the same
really cool.
universe.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a massive undertaking. I mean, Star Wars is nothing compared to the vast richness of Warhammer.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things in it.
Yeah, I mean, there's the fantasy these days. It's called Age of Sigmar, and then 40k. So yeah, there's so much.
And then there's Armada, and then there's Blood Bowl. There's a lot of stuff.
That as well. Yeah. So
they also have Warhammer Quest, which is more of their D&D take on fantasy.
Yep. And there's also tabletop RPGs. So yeah, there's so much variety in games, and like I said, there's a new Age of Sigmar RTS coming out, so that's kind of looks a bit inspired by Dawn of War, which I really loved, except for the third one, which wasn't great.
The third one was bad.
Yeah, I did finish that one though, but I also played which was it? Something with Hive. I'm not sure. Also a shooter, which was also kind of fun, and there's Dark Tide, which is also a lot of fun. So,
okay,
yeah. But Bolt Gun is just if you're into boomer shooters and Warhammer 40k, this is the game you wanted in the 90s, basically.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
It's better than the Tau game. What was it called again? Trial by Fire.
Warrior. I think it's Fire Warrior.
Was it Fire Warrior? Yeah. I think it was.
I do remember. Yeah, Fire Warrior. Yeah, that's an old game, right?
Yeah, it was an okay attempt, but that was in the era where Games Workshop was very difficult with their licensing. So.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Warcraft came out of falling out between Blizzard and Games Workshop.
Yeah, but basically StarCraft and Warcraft were supposed to be
Warhammer games. Yep.
They were supposed to be Games Workshop games. Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, you can immediately tell the things. Mm-hmm. The style is the same.
Yeah.
Even the orcs kind of look the same.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So Metzman, what did you play?
Yeah. Oh,
what
wait.
Did I play?
There's one more thing.
There's one more game. No. Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, there was one more game. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Well, the thing is, this story is weird and it's funny, and someone messed up basically. What happened is that for a poker story-heavy poker game called Sunshine Shuffle, the developers, the main developer of the game, Xavier Nelson Jr. What's it? Yeah. Xavier Nelson Jr., who made some very fun games, including Hypnospace Outlaw, which is basically a cult classic these days. The game was supposed to come out on the 25th for Steam, PC, and Switch.
Okay.
But he went with a bit to promote the game. And it was about not teaching children to gamble.
Oh, okay.
Somehow, something backfired, and Nintendo America said, "Oh, we're not going to publish this game now because they were convinced that it is a game about child gambling." And so there's a Twitter. He made a Twitter thread that is hilarious because of that. Even worse, during that time, he got the news that in Korea the game was banned entirely in South Korea, and that is something that might not be fixable. I do know that as of I think today, Nintendo America said, okay, you can still publish the game in North America, but starting May 31st on Switch. So it is out for PC. It's out for Switch around the entire world, except for the US right now and for North Korea. Or South Korea, sorry.
Okay.
So the Twitter thread is hilarious. He made some videos, some TikToks that he also shared on Twitter. And what I thought was really funny is that he said that I goofed too fucking close to the sun. So that's what he did. So he was just so committed to the bit that it just went really wrong, and it's funny. The game itself is kind of like that old poker game.
The Telltale one, right? Poker at the Inventory.
Yeah, Poker at the Inventory, and so it's very story heavy in this case. Some cute animal-looking creatures rob the bank, and you're going to find out why. And it's just a fun story and you can alter the look of the ship's cabin that you're on. So yeah, and there's fun music, a bit ska style music, but the story behind it is just hilarious.
Okay.
So
behind the
the
development of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sunshine Shuffle. I tried to play the game, but I have some technical issues with the UI. It's not really working and responding well. So I'm gonna, tweet at him and say that, okay, I'm running into this issue. Need to make a video of it and show him like, okay, can this be fixed? Because of course it can be fixed, but when?
Yeah, that's the question.
I really want to play it. Yeah. So yeah, that was it for me. So yeah, on to you, Metzman.
Yeah. Okay. So I played more Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Of course.
I'm still going on. So what I do with this game is that I try to do every single opportunity for a star immediately as I get them. Mm-hmm. So if the game says there is an opportunity for you in this system, then I immediately go there and do it. As well as with the prankster stars, I try to immediately go for it. And yeah, so far successful. Like I haven't had one of the challenges be like too difficult. Like sometimes there were a few stars, especially prankster stars, that was like, okay, I'm probably gonna come back to it later. And then a few tries later, I managed to do it anyway. Because sometimes it just seems like impossible. And you're like, wait, how do we do this? Like, this is supposed to be a Mario game. Like, why is this so difficult? And then I'm just overthinking things. So
yeah,
that's usually the thing. Like, it looks very complex, and then it turns out to be easy. There was one particular one. I'm not sure if I could find it today in this video here. No, I don't think I can find it. This one was very tricky too, by the way. But there was one where you had like platforms were like appearing and disappearing on a beat, and it was a prankster version, so it went twice as fast.
Oh, great!
And I had to like completely like get into the mindset of that like rhythm to get onto the platforms, and because it went so fast, it was like big.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that, because you have like you float a little bit when you jump, so you have to time that exactly right. And thankfully there's little checkpoints in the game, so it was basically just a big victory whenever I got to one of the checkpoints. And then at the end you have to collect, because the objective of that star is to collect the silver star, so you have to collect 4 or 5, and then it becomes 1 star, and that's the one you have to get, the golden star basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of fun. Still very creative stuff in this game. I'm still surprised every time when they have a new mechanic in there, or like a twist on an old mechanic. Yeah, it's great. It's let's see if I can find something funny here. I don't think so. Here, this is the one with the stupid things. So this is the one with the rhythm.
Yeah.
So see, I fail like a lot. I think I spent like an hour or something on it.
Wow. How many lives was
like,
that?
A lot. I think I had to like take a break and got some lives in a level where it was easy to get lives. So I had to come back later to do the rest.
Right.
Oops. Yeah. See, that was one of those panic things where I think it goes right, and then I accidentally press the duck button for some reason, and I just screw it up more. So yeah, this was really nasty. But yeah, great game. I'm gonna continue this game probably this weekend and play more of it. Try to get all the. Hopefully, I think we last time we said it was 240 stars or something.
Yeah.
So I still have a long ways to go. But yeah, it's fun. Next up, what did I play? Let me check my list. Oh yeah, of course, I played more Rot. I think it's the way you pronounce it. I play this game mostly off stream. It's one of those games that I just play while listening to a podcast or watching a stream, stuff like that. Because it's there's no like, it's not really a story game. It's explore the levels, find the secrets, and once in a while there's a funny little scene or a funny little setup for interactive element. But yeah, it's just these games I play them just to chill out, basically.
Right.
It's just fun little mazes, basically, and very satisfying combat. And it's great. It's a one big Slav joke. So if you're into that kind of stuff, I really highly recommend it. I'm like, this is one of those games where I'm just excited to get to see what's up around the corner and see what's next, because there's just a lot of inside jokes and things, and yeah, it's great. I don't have much to say about it. It's just a fun boomer shooter.
The final level has a lot of color. I would instantly buy this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very brown.
It's very brown.
Yeah, but that's also it's one of the staples, basically. They were going for. I don't think there's a lot of color later.
It's just brown and green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got used to it.
It's very Quake. Quake used to do the same thing.
Quake, yeah. Although Quake does have, I think, the other episodes, because the first one's very brown.
Yeah,
but then later episodes are really like dark bluish,
variation,
like little color differences. But yeah, this game is very brown. Like that's one of the things. If you don't like brown, then you're not gonna like this game.
There was an era when there was a lot of brown games.
Yeah, exactly.
Xbox 360 and PlayStation.
I know that was PS3, but it was. There were still some colorful games back then, but most shooters were brown for sure. Like
and Bald Space Marines and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it's a really fun game. It's just for a good laugh and chill out boomer shooter game.
Right.
So I played that, and after that, what did I play? After that, oh yeah, I was gonna talk about it last time, but I forgot, and I want to just shortly mention it as well. There is a. I'm not gonna show this, so you can take it on the.
Okay, I'll switch.
Screen. Because this is something I'm not going to tell you about a lot. I'm just going to mention it. It's called myhouse.wad.
Oh, right, that one.
Yeah. It's basically a map for Doom 2. And you have to use GZ Doom. That's like a source port thingy, a launcher basically for to play Doom on modern systems. You'll find instructions online to how to get it. And it's there's a little story around it that there's this kid that found like a diskette with this map that he made that was like a tribute to his house. Basically, he was just making his house and in the map editor of Doom, and he found it and he put it online. So that's the basic story around it. And when you start off the map. It's a house, so you start exploring, and I'm going to not say anything, but things get crazy, right? On many different levels. It's gonna get under your skin, and like basically you could finish the level in 10 minutes. Like you can find the key to get to the exit, but you should stick around and try to find some secret rooms. And explore a bit, and maybe there's more to it than you expected. That's all I'm going to say about it. Okay. Because actually, the best thing about this thing is that if I should have actually not told you anything about it. It was just like, play this cool house map, and that's everything you should have known. It's very fun. Let's just say that it's surprising. It's very creative, and it's one of the best Doom maps I think I've ever played. And yeah, that's about it. So I'm not going to tell you anything about it.
Myhouse.wad.
All right.
Yeah. If you Google it, you'll find it. It's I think actually you have to like find a folder called PK3. But yeah, there's enough instructions how to get it running. If it works, it works. You'll get like a big splash screen that says, or like a big like my house background in very low resolution, and you'll hear the Doom 2 music, and that should be fine. If you just do new game, and then you'll jump right into it. But yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it. I will say there's a lot more going on than I initially thought. Let's say like I finished a very extensive run of it, but there's even more to discover. Like there's a lot of things to discover. There's branches, let's say that.
Okay.
So yeah, My House with What, excellent stuff. I hope they make more of stuff like this. I was kind of gonna look up more of this kind of things because it's really fun, and it's always great what people can do with the Doom engine. So
Right.
All right. Next up, I played a classic because this week it was the 25th anniversary of the original Unreal, which is not available on digital stores anymore. Thank you, Epic.
So stupid.
So I decided, you know what? It was the evening of the anniversary day, and I thought, you know, I'm just going to play a little bit of it just for fun. I had a little issue with it that every time I alt-tabbed the game, it would crash. I was using a special version of the game that does run and look better on the modern systems, but I don't know what it is. I maybe have to Google one time. I have to Google a little bit more how to run it better. Oh wait, I'm clicking on the
Probably
wrong
something for that. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Unreal, it's still a pretty game, even after all these years. I was surprised by that. I was surprised at how well this game uses color, lighting, and of course, everybody who played it remembers the opening section of the game where you start in a prison ship, and it's very moody, and there's explosions going on, and people get dragged off in the darkness by creatures, and then you step into this big landscape. You know, Unreal was one of the big look at our graphics games. It was, of course, a brand new engine.
Yeah,
and it was the big competitor to id Software.
And look where it's now with the engine.
Yeah, and it's still going.
Amazing.
Because we're on Unreal Engine 5 right now, which is crazy. It still goes today. There's
just no Unreal.
It's just it was one of those things where you had magazines where it says that's like one screenshot as the cover, and it said this is a in-game screenshot. Like it was one of those times. And if you look at it now, it's like, oh wow, we were impressed by that. But it's still playing the game itself. It's a very atmospheric game. I was always surprised about it because, of course, it is kind of a tech demo. It's kind of like to show what they could do with this new engine. Yeah. But it's also a very good shooter, and it's fairly lengthy too. It has a very big variety in enemies too, and in environments.
Yep. More than Quake.
Yeah, way more than Quake. And it has little scripted sequences. Like there's this area which is really cool. I think a lot of people remember that as well, where you get locked up in a hallway and the lights go out one by one around you. You hear like, and suddenly like there's like this, this new enemy that you have to fight in like strobe lighting, and it's it's very intense, very scary for the time. But yeah, it has a lot of cool moments. There's like even new enemies in like the last few hours of the game. Very cool, like interesting boss fights, and It's a classic, of course, and it's very sad that it's not you're not able to buy this game anymore, at least for now.
Yeah.
Together with the rest of the entire series. So, it's a sad thing, and I hope that one day maybe they're like planning something. I'm not sure. Yeah. Maybe they're going to bring out a collection or like a remaster collection or whatever. I think even Night Sky Studio has offered them to do a remaster for the original Unreal. So you never know what happens with that. I'm not sure if Cliff Bleszinski has anything to do with it nowadays. I think he doesn't work at Epic anymore. No, but he didn't mention the game either. Like I would have at least expected him. He always talks about Jazz Jackrabbit, but never about Unreal. So maybe there's like some kind of hostility there. I don't know.
Perhaps.
But great game. Still worth to play today. Takes a little bit of tweaking to make it look good on modern systems and run well, but. It's cool. Nice. And after that, sorry?
Nice. I just said nice.
Oh, nice. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it is nice.
It is very
and after that, I played, like you two, I played Bolt Gun as well, but we discussed that in very much detail. So I don't have very much to add. Good game.
Yeah.
That was it for our games we've played this week. So
it was a pretty long. What did we play?
Yeah, we actually played a lot.
Yeah.
Or we had a lot to say about the things we played. Because I think because Boltgun is it's a new game and that we all played it.
Yeah.
And it was worth mentioning and talking about.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the PlayStation showcase. I made a little list of everything they showed, so we can talk about every game in order. They start, of course, off by the president or who the lead.
Jim Ryan.
Mr. Ryan, yeah.
Yeah. Talking.
He should not be in front of a camera.
No.
It's a money guy. He's not a Reggie. He's not. Even Phil is more charismatic and that does manage to hype the stuff up. Jim doesn't do that.
No. And Jim is prone to put his foot in his mouth. So
yeah, he didn't do it this time, but he was obviously scripted. So
but all script, he tends to say things that people are like, really, dude.
He's just a money guy. He looks at the numbers. He's a numbers guy, and he's not a gamer. He doesn't care. He cares about the bottom line.
Yeah. So, but he wasn't on screen for very long, thankfully.
No, they just.
He was also the only person, I think. Yeah, he was the only person.
It was just
an introduction, and bang, there we go. Game after game after game. Yeah. That's what we like to see from these things. We don't care about the sweet talk around it. Yeah. First game they showed was called Fair Games.
Yeah.
With the S as a dollar sign. An extraction shooter. Yeah. I didn't even look up a lot about
a heist
it.
game.
It's a heist game? Sorry. So it's more like Payday-ish then.
Sort of, yeah. It has, from the looks of it, a lot of people initially thought, oh, this is Watch Dogs. Because, it kind of has the same aesthetic.
A little bit, yeah.
But, it's Haven Studios, so it's a different developer. This is Sony. This is an in-house developer. This is one of those free-to-play games that they're going to bring out. But other than what we saw and the PlayStation blog post, we don't know a lot about it.
It's a PvP game. It's fully PvP. It's team versus team.
Yeah. I think it was PvP, PvE, but it might be just PvP.
From what I've seen on the PlayStation blog, it's fully PvP.
Right. Okay. So it's a heist game where you battle others.
Yeah, you basically, so some of them are the heisters and others are just the bodyguards, and you have to stop them.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
There might be a market for it, but
it's not my kind of thing.
No. It's one of there's so much little to show. It's a CG trailer. Yeah, we haven't seen any gameplay, so there's not much to talk about, I guess. Because we have a theme and we have an aesthetic, and that's it.
Yeah, I do kind of like the aesthetic, but
that's the problem with just CG trailers. We don't know what the aesthetics are.
Yeah,
like a trailer doesn't really show what the game does.
No, but I do kind of like the style of the trailer itself. I think it's going to be a third-person game. Just by looking at the way they move, and like I said, it got a very heavy Watch Dogs vibes from it.
It might be
that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like cosmetics are going to be a big part of it.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Look at the guns and how they're colored, and the face paint and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is like a very common theme in video games nowadays. These colored character, super designed like faces and things and clothing. It's like this is the way people are monetizing their games now. It's all about the looks and style.
Yeah.
But that's all we know. So we'll have to wait to more information. Next up, we have Helldivers 2.
Yes. Which has a very good trailer, I have to admit.
Yeah, it's funny because there's a Starship Troopers game that just came out.
Exactly.
And this is the first thing I thought was, this is just another promotional trailer for Starship Troopers. Because this commercial that you're seeing right here is purely Starship Troopers.
Yeah, I mean the movie Starship Troopers.
Yeah, the movie style. Yeah,
not the books, because the books are very heavy on the military stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it was Paul Verhoeven who really wanted to, make fun of that. And so that's why Starship Troopers is more satire than, Go America. I mean, it's over the top. Go America, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But yeah, Helldivers sequel, and it's third person this time because the first one was more of a top-down game.
Mm-hmm. It does look a lot more third person, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's for third person.
Yeah. Apparently the first one is a pretty good game. I haven't played it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about the first game.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those smaller titles that didn't get a very big spotlight, I think.
Yeah, it was a PlayStation exclusive, PlayStation 3 exclusive for a long time. Yeah, it's out on PC as well now. But this could be fun.
Yeah,
it looks so bland. I'm sorry, it looks bland to me.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea about the gameplay loop. I mean, it's the main thing is shooting bugs and I guess completing objectives, but I'm not sure. That's always my question with these games. Is it how long is that fun? Just shooting endless bugs, right? Without a clear goal or something interesting that keeps you going, right? A hook. So
no, I get that. It's gonna be the question of how much more fun did they make this version?
Yeah, exactly. It's like for a sequel, because that's I guess my fault for not playing the first one, so I have nothing to compare. Like what is specials about Helldivers? Like what does it make? What makes it Helldivers, right? Is it just very fun? Like is it satisfying? To complete certain goals, because there's like
very satisfying. Yeah,
it kind of feels like Alien Defense Force, right? Which is also a bug shooter. Yeah.
But EDF is there's something very fun about because it's so over the top and there's a lot of variation in enemies.
I mean, EDF is basically a B tier movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It has it's way more out there. So I think that's why it's fun to play.
Yeah.
Because there's they throw everything at you in that game, and this seems more like, unless of course this is just one trailer, right? Yeah. So we don't know if they're gonna mix things up. But if it's just this, if it's just these bugs and on this planet, and it's just different missions,
no, it was different planets on Helldivers as well.
Okay, but is it going to be live service? We know that Sony was working on a bunch of live service games.
Yeah.
That's why they bought Bungie, because they needed that expertise. I feel like this is.
The original game isn't?
No, but the original game was from an era before live service games were a thing.
Yeah. So we're not sure. Fortunately. I wish I was sure, but I don't know. It might be.
The weird thing is it doesn't really... it doesn't show cosmetics, not really, at least.
No, I think this is purely an announcement trailer, of course.
Yeah. Which is weird because the game is coming out this year. So it's an announcement trailer, but it's far along in development. It's not a lot is going to change within the next year. They're going to polish it.
Yeah. I guess we have to wait for more stuff to drop. This year, we don't know.
It's coming out this year anyway, so we're gonna get more stuff.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go up to the next one.
I think it's going to be heavy on the satire, though.
Yeah, but is that going to be in the game?
I wonder if it's in the game or if it's just in this trailer, or it might be in the game, but it's not to the extent.
I don't think it's just in the trailer, but we'll see.
Yeah, if there's funny voiceovers, like general, speaking to you during the missions, and there's these funny, they have these, I don't know,
their blog post. Their blog post also leans into that satire part a bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, we'll have to see. Next up is Immortals of Avium. Which is a first-person magic wielding game.
Yeah. I'm still interested in it, so could be fun.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I always get a little bit of a Destiny vibe from it, but instead of guns, you have the magic stuff.
Yeah, But it's a single player game, so.
Yeah, it is a single player game only, right? There's no multiplayer or co-op.
There's no multiplayer. Nah. It's purely single player.
Yeah. I don't know. I always when I see this, I'm like, it might be fun if the magic system is interesting to play around with. Like if you can do a lot of cool combinations and like develop your own combat style with it, depending on what kind of magic you choose, or if there's an upgrade system. You
can switch between all the magics, and I think there's an upgrade system. I know there was a gear thing, so
stuff like that.
It's been a while since I saw the previous gameplay stuff.
Yeah,
but they're not showing that in this trailer, unfortunately. This is just story stuff and some gameplay.
Yeah, this would be fun if you can play around a lot with the different magic stuff, and basically make your own build, sort of, and like. Find cool like stuff that's OP maybe. Playing around with that stuff is fun. But if it's just you have a new power now, and you can just switch between them and that's it. And
then it's basically just guns.
Yeah, it might just be boring. I'm not sure if it's gonna be just that.
Yeah,
but I mean, different enemies use different. You need different kinds of magic.
Yeah, there's probably sort of rock paper scissors kind of.
Yeah, but that would mean that you would be constantly just switching, just based on your enemy type. Also, mandatory big dragon at the end.
Yeah,
mandatory.
Yep, that is so mandatory these days. Yeah. Yeah. That's a staple. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going back too far.
Next up.
But
don't have a lot.
Still, we still have a lot to go.
Yeah.
All right. So that was that one. Then we have Ghost Runner 2, and that was a really surprising trailer because it starts off
on
with
a motorcycle.
Bike. Yeah. And everybody's like, okay, what is this? Like,
they thought it was going to be like a Wipeout kind of game with a motorcycle, but
even it's like a Destiny kind of design to his face. At least I haven't played the first one.
Yeah, the first one had the same.
Runner.
Yeah, okay. So
I did play the first one. The first one didn't have a bike. It's a momentum shooter.
Yeah.
You're dodging bullets. You're fighting. Part of it is close combat. Part of it is just deflection.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, and basically when you die, if you instantly respawn, you can try again.
Yeah.
So
the first one as well.
So there's more than just
really
running
cool.
now. There's wall biking.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So they added some mechanics. It's it seemed like a Destiny trailer at first. Like every character, like a lot of characters in these, especially this showcase, look like Destiny characters.
It's always a cloak and then with something like a robot face under it.
Yeah,
that always reminds me of it.
Like a weird robot type helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but very cool trailer, and I'm glad they because this looks very maybe not be high budget, but it looks high budget.
The first game was very
it was very pretty. Yeah,
one of the few games when it came out, it was one of the few games that actually had RTX support.
Yeah, it supported RTX. You could run it at 120 hertz. It had 4K support, and it looks fantastic.
It looks really good.
And even the first game, if you start it up now and you crank it up to 11, your PC is gonna have trouble with it.
Yeah,
so
I think I played
it's still very demanding.
I was on my old PC, so that didn't run too well. But
if I crank it up, my PC has some trouble. It won't be stable on 144. So
cool. Cool that there's a sequel. I wish them all the best with that. And it's probably going to do well. That's what I think. All right. Next up is a very surprising game. Again, nobody knew what this was. And for a good reason, because it's a new game. Completely new game called Phantom Blade Zero.
Blade Zero.
Yes.
This looks right up my alley.
Yeah. The first idea I had was it was kind of like Rise of the Ronin. And I thought it was Rise of the Ronin at first, which is a Team Ninja game.
Okay.
So, and then gameplay came, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's that game, right? Because I got some Ninja Gaiden, a feel vibe from it. but it's from a completely different studio from China, I think. So that's pretty cool. It looks pretty good.
Yeah,
looks really good.
I cringed a little bit at the little bit of voice acting from the mask guy.
Right. I mean,
it was like,
the guy's weird.
That's very anime. Especially because the whole art design of it is very dark and gloomy and more akin to something like Sekiro or the other Samurai Souls-like. What's the name?
Neo. Or
Neo, that one, but then the combat, like at least what we think is combat, I think it's in-game combat.
That's in-game combat.
It looks really fluid and fast.
It does.
And of course, we don't have a UI or anything to tell us how it works.
No.
Because I'm really curious about that. But it could be like a very reactionary, maybe like. I don't know, because it happens so fast. I wonder if it's like almost like the Batman games.
It's definitely not a Soul-like. So Soul-likes are usually pretty slow and methodical. Your characters, I don't know, it's almost like tank control. That's what a Soul-like feels like. It looks fluid.
Yes.
So it's I think this is more akin like Flash at Nia Gaiden. It might be more akin to what was the Ronin game on PlayStation? The name eludes me.
Didn't you?
No,
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes, Ghost of Tsushima.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's probably more akin to that.
Yeah. It's also because the camera is so close in this trailer. It's like I immediately thought I have to see this with UI because I need to know what kind. Is there button prompts for certain attacks or like this stuff is so it's so
like
crazy
Wuxia.
looking.
Yeah, it's like
there's a certain
Wuxia.
Yeah, maybe
Wuxia,
there's a sort of rhythm to it to like counter certain attacks, and then so you can do your counters, or I don't know.
But, that low angle to the ground sword attack was very, like I said, Wuxia inspired. So that's really cool because we don't really have a game that does that kind of fighting style.
No, exactly. It makes it look immediately fresh.
Yeah.
For this style of game, right? The action adventure slasher games.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to see more of this.
Yeah, me too.
I love new franchises like this.
This one's on my radar, and looking forward to seeing more.
Yeah. Okay. So next up, we have A Sword of the Sea. And this is a game by the Journey devs, if you've ever played one of those
actually,
games.
I thought, not just me, Marco thought as well. We thought it was Journey too.
Yeah,
especially with the opening and you see the desert. Sand, it just looked like Destiny.
I thought it was like,
not Destiny.
Journey 2.
Journey.
I thought at first maybe a very elaborate remaster or remake, especially because you see this stuff, right? The sand and everything. Yeah. But then you suddenly saw a different character, and I was like, okay, so this is definitely the same devs, but a new game,
same artist, Apsu and the Pathless. I still need to play Apsu, and I want to play the Pathless on PS5 when I get one. So
I sold the Pathless. I need it back.
Oh.
I do. I own Apsu as well, and I've never played it. I think I bought it on a sale, and I never touched it.
I finished Apsu. Apsu was really easy to finish. That was literally just go straight and just enjoy the scenery. Yeah. Journey was a little bit more involved, and the Pathless is definitely more involved. It has way more combat. It's so. Yeah, this one actually, it looks good. Usually their games are a bit of an experience. So,
I remember playing Journey, because everybody told me, okay, you have to play this in one sitting. And that's what I did. I spent like 4 hours playing through the game on the Beamer, actually, just in a big screen. And that was a great experience.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love their games. Great art style, great music. So they always deliver. So that's something to look forward to. All right. Yeah. Next up, we have The Talos Principle #2.
I knew I have the first one. Never played it.
Same.
I played a bit of it.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty difficult puzzle games.
Yeah, it's basically puzzle like a Myst meets Portal kind of thing. So you go around in a big area, and you have to solve little puzzles to get through new areas.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff, and you work with light, bending light and things. This might be different. This might be different puzzles, but you can see here in the video at least, that there's all these different areas and paths you have to walk. First game, it was made by Crow Team, I think, which is funny because it's the Serious Sam studio that makes these games, if I'm correct. Because I remember it used the engine from Serious Sam, and it was just like came out of nowhere. The first one I remember. I haven't finished it, but I heard there was like pretty good thematic story things in it too in the first one.
Yeah.
I didn't touch too much of that, but I'm kind of looking forward to it to see what they do with it, because it's always neat to see these second iterations of like a puzzle game, like it kind of expanded really really big. This looks way more like they stretched out the world basically. The first one felt a little bit like, it's a fun indie puzzler game, and this looks like they went all out, basically like Portal 1 meets Portal 2 in terms of size. I think
could be interesting.
But we saw one trailer, so it was just an announcement, and that's it.
Next up is Niva.
Yeah, from the Greece devs.
The Greece people.
Yeah,
it looks
really good.
I played Gris for a bit. I never finished it, but it was interesting as they usually do stuff revolving around death and grief, as was Gris. So I'm expecting, especially seeing as the doggy die and then the miniature dog at the end hugging.
Yeah,
it's a dog with a tree on its head.
It's a massive dog, wolf, basically.
Yeah, I felt a little bit like, okay, they're doing that story beat because it's like, the big one dies in, here's the puppy, you have to raise it now or something. Yeah. You have to take care of it.
Train it. Yeah.
It's been done before. So I was like, okay, I know where this is going maybe, but I don't know. I love the artwork that they do. I think I've watched Greece because I wasn't interested in playing it. But I watched the whole playthrough, and that game ends on a very high note. It's beautiful.
I'm very far into that game. I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, you should definitely finish it. It's not too long, but it's a very beautiful ending. Okay. So that's worth playing.
Yeah.
This is their new project, which has the same kind of art style.
Yeah.
And I guess we can expect, because we don't see any gameplay in this, I think.
No,
it's probably going to be
another 2D platformer.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
most likely. Yeah,
like a puzzle platformer 2D. Yeah. That's probably what it was.
So
I just love this. It's gorgeous.
This is definitely going to be on a lot of people's radars because Greece made a big impact. I remember. So cool stuff. And next we have Cat Quest: Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
Caribbean.
I love.
Of course, they did that. Yeah, it's another Cat Quest game. I haven't played the first one. Wait, where is it?
I think this is the third one, right?
Oh, I don't know.
The third one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I do remember the first one.
Both, I think.
I don't own any of them. They were always on my radar. Like they're actually pretty good.
The first one.
Action RPG games, and I never picked them up.
I played it a bit. I never finished it.
Like it looks like an overworld. It looks like an overworld map, but you're just basically doing combat on that one.
Yeah.
It's really
same with
interesting.
the original. Yeah.
So I guess it's just like a new environment, the Caribbean, but it's the Caribbean.
A new theme,
because everything is a cat pun in the game. That's that's one of the things, right? Like everything.
Yeah, it's some say it's Diablo with cats, according to the Steam
Diablo with cats. Okay.
Yeah, Diablo with cats. A super cute Skyrim, whatever your take. It's a loot-fueled cat venture. There it goes. Cat pun.
There you go. It's one of those smaller games. Of course, they have some indie games on the PlayStation as well.
Yeah.
This is one of those smaller games that they wanted to promote. It's cute. It's cute. I guess if you like stuff like that and cats, then that's for you. Next up, another big surprise from Square Enix.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
All right, so when this started, I was like, okay, this is Square Enix, and they're doing a multiplayer thing.
It's terrible.
and then it turns out to be
it's Splatoon. It's Splatoon
clone.
It's literally Splatoon.
Yeah, I mean, there's some variation in that. I read that you can make forts with the foam.
Yeah, you can see it in the trailer that
foam,
that if they shoot the foam, that it creates height as well.
Yeah,
where you can stand on.
Yeah.
Instead of just a flat surface that's being sprayed, but yeah, it is completely inspired by Splatoon. 2 colors. You have to get the most area spread
all
with
sorts
that
of
stuff.
Different weapons.
Yeah,
they might be character-based
the bubbles
weapons.
look so bad.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, it's Splatoon. They
have to make it. Yeah, they have to kind of like it's interesting because the trailer itself is a very stylized CG trailer, very high detail.
And then the gameplay is completely different. It's very cel shaded and
yeah.
I mean, there might be a market for it for people that don't have a Switch and don't, might be interested in Splatoon. I think it's going to be a free to play game. The biggest worry I have right now with the current trajectory of Square Enix is that this game might have NFTs, but
yeah, at least it's gonna be. I mean, there's a very big possibility. Look at all the costumes again, guys. Like what?
Yeah,
this
is gonna be filled with battle passes and stuff like that.
Yeah, it does look like different characters. Not necessarily customize your own character, but maybe you can customize their own outfits. I don't know. So it might not be NFTs, but still, there's a worry now.
Yeah,
for that sort of thing. It's most likely going to be free to play. Yeah,
it might be fun. It might be very solid. It's just very reminiscent of other games. Yeah. So I guess it's a new genre now.
It's one of those copycat games that,
Yeah. All
I'm
right.
unsure of.
Yeah, well,
Splatoon was doing well, so that they want to appease their shareholders.
Yeah,
that's what's happening here.
Yeah.
So now we have a PlayStation Splatoon. Okay.
And
we're gonna get an Xbox
probably
One
PC
later.
and Xbox. Yeah.
Yeah, depends because the platforms say PS4 and PS5. So.
But that's because it's a PlayStation showcase. They're not gonna say anything else.
No. Is that so? Because I thought there was another game that showed.
I know that Microsoft already said that like all the games that had like 12 games that said PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, or just PlayStation 5, also coming to Xbox. So
they kind of like had a little funny back like bump from all those games they showed at the PlayStation thing. Look how many of them are on our platform as well.
Yeah.
So next up,
anyway,
the Plucky
Squire.
Yes.
This looks good.
Amazing.
Really good.
I'm really looking forward to this one.
This is so beautiful.
It's the first announcement. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 2D meets 3D world stuff. Something you would see in Mario Odyssey, I believe, has the same kind of thing. Where they sometimes jump into the 2D platform.
This is going way.
This is going way further. Yeah, this is like taking that concept and making a whole game about it.
Yeah,
which is great.
You jump out of a book into the 3D world.
Yeah,
so that's pretty cool, and then you can jump back in. So that's
but you can jump on top of a mug like you see there, or into a dollhouse.
That's pretty
like
much. There's a Zelda game that does it, right?
Yeah, but again, not to this level.
Environment.
No, because
not to this level,
you do the Zelda game that does that. That's the 3DS version. That's a Link Between Worlds. But it's only for traversal. It's not. It doesn't have combat within those worlds. No. And in this case, it does.
Yeah, it's like
it looks really good. I love the art style.
Odyssey kind of does it. Like you go into the walls and then you have a 2D Mario Park where you actually just play a 2D Mario game.
Oh.
But this takes it. It's an entire game around that mechanic. It's not like just a
entire
little fun moment.
2D exploration.
There's a top-down view. There's side-scrolling view, and there's the 3D thing. Yeah.
This just it looks adorable. It's very colorful.
Yeah.
It's also just technically, it looks very impressive as well.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
Yeah. Looking forward to this one for sure.
Yep, definitely. All right.
Yeah.
Next up, we have a game that was already on Steam and now is going to come to PS5, which is Teardown.
Yep.
I played this. I have this. It's great. Of course, it's a fully destructible world. Basically, all the maps are fully destructible. Every pixel is destructible. and interactable.
But
yeah, so it's a very elaborate voxel. So I've followed the development of this game, like the guy who made it. Like I've saw the first test of it, which was really funny, and then see it build up. And
that's pretty cool.
yeah, and so the main game is like sort of a heist thing where you have to plan out a route. You can smash walls, you can place explosives. You can draw, so you can like draw out a route because you can explore the levels before you do your thing. So you can plan around, and then you have to like do all these tasks in a certain order, and try to do it in the fastest time, I think, is the goal, or within a certain time. You can use vehicles, you can use explosives, whatever works physics-wise. Very creative game. And it also has, at least on PC, it has full level editor support, and people are already making great things on PC. I don't know if that translates to PS5, but yeah, it's a great game. It's a little bit, I don't know if it still is heavy to run, but I remember it being very heavy because it's one of the first games that is basically ray trace only. So you have to have a card at least that supports that to run it, because the whole game engine is like built on ray tracing technology to create its visuals. So I guess that's what the PS5 can run as well. So that's good news. I'm really curious about what kind of frame rate it will run on the PS5. But yeah, this looks fluid. I'm not sure. I think this is 30 FPS or whatever, but at least it looks fluid. So it's a very creative, fun little game, and it's one of those ideas that because everything's physics based, it's not just the bricks disappear, but pipes will bend down, wires will actually be physical wires. So there's material properties to everything. Which makes it like more interactable instead of like block disappears or tree floats in the air because it has no physics, right? So like Minecraft, for example.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty.
So everything does work like real life, basically.
I do hope you can drop an entire PlayStation 5 just randomly in.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
I mean, that's probably in the game. Knowing the developer who probably did that for fun in there as well. But yeah, it's good, cool that it comes to PlayStation. Creative games are always fun. Okay, next up. We have one of the big announcements.
It was rumored for a long time.
Yeah, it was rumored. There were a lot of rumors that this was going to happen. And I was kind of expecting it to show up.
One of the worst kept secrets.
Yeah. I'm not sure about the trailer. It felt a little bit off to me.
It's there's no Kojima involved. So
the
very clinical.
The style of the trailer and how it is animated, it like, of course we know now that this is the Metal Gear Solid Delta game, basically the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake.
Yeah.
From
Studios, I think. Yeah.
Sorry.
I think it was Virtuous Studios.
Did they announce a developer? Because I don't think they've announced who is making this game.
But it was rumored that it was Virtuous, so
And what did they do? Do you know?
I have no idea, to be honest. I only know that I saw that it was that studio.
Okay, because Konami is basically now hiring external studios to make their games. The same with the Silent Hill 2 remake, which is done by Bloober. So I have no idea what to expect from this one.
I mean, they worked on Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Callisto Protocol, Horizon Forbidden West.
So it's like a sister company.
It's a support company.
There's a support studio, and I think with this one, they're going to do something very different. I know that they have studios in Canada, China, France, Ireland, Ukraine, and the United States, and even Vietnam. Plus operations in Korea and Japan, apparently. So it's a pretty big company.
Okay.
So they might have all the talent needed to actually do the remake, and just upgrade the graphics and make the gameplay pretty good. I also know that the original voice cast, like the entire voice cast, is back. So I think they've been or are doing everything anew.
He looks off.
I'm not sure about that because they said the voice cast was coming back, but they didn't say they re-recorded it.
I think it is. I think that's what's implied, but we're not sure. So
yeah,
he looks off though.
Yeah, it's just Snake looks. He's just this is not how you present a Metal Gear Solid game. I'm sorry. He looks dead in here. It's just a model of Snake up close, but there's nothing. He gives nothing.
No.
Like I don't know. This is of course an announcement trailer, but it doesn't feel Metal Gear at all.
Yeah, like announcement trailers by Kojima are something.
Yeah, they usually he usually does the fake out stuff where you think it's something else, like he did with Metal Gear Solid 4. But this doesesn't has the same kind of magic to it. I would say
it's by numbers. This one is by numbers, and that then you notice that without Kojima, you're not gonna get the same experience. I mean.
We don't know if the game is bad though.
No, we don't. We don't know yet.
It's probably going to be a one-on-one. So we'll see.
They released some screenshots as well, in-game screenshots, and it looks good. But it looks very authentic. Let's say. Yeah. So that's at least a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, and we're going to get reissues of Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, they're going to release basically a sort of HD collection, which is
volume 1.
How
volume
will
1,
they do the good stuff though?
I think they're going to bring the HD collection stuff for Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. But the original, I think, is going to be emulated. At least it looks like it's emulated.
Okay, but still, how are you going to do things like reading the memory, that psychomantis stuff?
I don't know.
How is it going to read your save games? How is he going to? How are you going to switch controller?
I mean, didn't they already do some stuff for previous consoles, for previous releases? I'm not sure how they fixed that.
Metal Gear Solid 1 was always separate. They released it on the PlayStation 3 store and stuff. It was never bundled in an HD collection or anything. Right. So that's at least something that's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Especially how they do that. I guess maybe they'll implement something like it'll come with a few save games, but then it wouldn't make sense because it's about Psychomantis telling something about you as a player.
Yeah.
And the switching controls things, I guess you could hook up another PlayStation controller or maybe change a port on the thing. I don't know.
You can change the port.
Yeah.
And your controller is connected to your account. If you switch your account or you switch your controller, you're going to have a different account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have no idea how they're doing this. I'm really curious.
And there's another thing. I don't know if the PlayStation 5 has this. And that's pressure sensitive buttons on like.
And the PlayStation 5 has that.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So the face buttons are pressure sensitive?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I remember like the HD collection, if you get it on Xbox, which doesn't have that, it is actually more difficult to not shoot a gun. So the pressure sensitive works if you aim your gun in Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. And you can release slowly the button and you would put your gun away.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that that was also in the HD collection.
It will work.
It only works on PlayStation 3.
It won't work on Xbox again because they're still not having. It's just
exactly. And it's going to be released on Xbox as well. Right. So
let's move along because Marco really hates the end parts. He hates this trailer in general. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's a bad trailer.
It's not.
All right, next up is anime game Tower of Agasha.
It's not really an anime game. I know it's from an Indian developer.
Oh wait, no, this is the other one. Sorry, I confused the other one with this.
Yeah, this is Towers of
Agasha.
Agasha. I don't know how you pronounce it.
I totally fluked on that name. Tower of Agasha? I'm not sure, dude. But it looks interesting.
Dude, I have the document open. It says Tower of Agasha.
Yeah, but it might be different because I remember it with a I thought there was a B in there as well, but I could be wrong.
Did I have or maybe I made a spelling mistake? Could be.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
The title will show up in a second.
Yes, Agasha.
Agasha.
Right. Okay, so I wrote it wrong. Okay.
I mean, I
There
could
we
be
go.
wrong, but I wasn't wrong, luckily. But anyway, it looks interesting.
Yeah, I got a little bit of Zelda vibes from it.
Yeah, well,
with the
Monster
glider?
Hunter more.
Okay.
There were other people that were calling it Dark Cloud because you have to rebuild the world.
Oh, okay.
But from what I read, it's that in this game you are gonna have to, like I said, rebuild the world, create villages and that sort of stuff. But you also have to keep in mind the ecological system.
Interesting.
The gods that
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
the
there's
building stuff. Yeah.
building stuff indeed. It's a freeform building.
That's very Dark Cloud then. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Dark Cloud's not really freeform, but this has freeform building, but you don't want to mess up the ecological system, because otherwise the gods will become furious and you're going to have issues.
Okay.
Bringing a world back to life is definitely interesting.
Yeah, it looks very pretty too.
Oh yeah.
Very beautiful graphics and just designs overall.
I like the Pokemon there on the back of the giant wheels.
Those eyes were very Pokemon-like. Yeah.
Interesting. But it's an announcement trailer. We don't know anything about it other than this.
Yeah, I mean, that was gameplay in there.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
UI,
that's good. Yeah. I always like that. Next up, another trailer for Final Fantasy.
It's
I feel like at this point it's a little bit oversharing when they do another trailer for it.
It's out next month. So.
Yeah, so
and that's very soon.
It looks fantastic. It looks great. I'm gonna play it for sure, or I'm gonna watch someone play it. We haven't decided yet. We're currently still at a stalemate about that. But it looks good. We're definitely going to enjoy that. So we can just. Yeah, I don't really care.
But yeah, we've seen so much of this stuff. So let's move on to the first.
I didn't mean to cut you off yet, just there. So
that's all right. Next up is Alan Wake 2, which is really I was surprised to see this here and not at the. I kind of surprised at the Xbox Expo thing. It was like, wait, what? At PlayStation? Okay. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I.
Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, it is, but my mind was like, wait.
Yeah.
It didn't click for me yet that it's okay. Oh yeah, it's just everywhere now. Yeah. With a little Sam Lake character in there, which is funny that he has his face in one of his games again.
Yeah, but the Max Payne voice.
Yeah, exactly. The Max Payne voice actor.
I thought that was Max Payne.
Yeah.
Could be.
He was also in Alan Wake 1, that voice actor.
Yeah.
For a few things.
I mean, that was Max Payne.
As a character.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So he's part of this world too, then.
Yeah. All the worlds, Control and Quantum Break and Alan Wake and Max Payne.
They're all connected. Yeah, I remember that Control and Alan Wake were connected, but I didn't know
that there were legal issues around Max Payne.
Okay.
Because Rockstar is owning part of that character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if it's Max Payne.
No, it was Max Payne and Control. So there were expansions for Control that one for Alan Wake and one for Max Payne. So they are involved. Yeah. Okay. I think they got all that stuff covered because they also got Alan Wake back from Microsoft.
Yeah. So I just don't care about the Remedy games. I tried multiple of them and I can't get into any of them.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
Like I don't like Control. I don't like any of the others. Oh. I tried them all and I quit within to 1 or 2 play sessions.
Oh.
So I'm not looking forward to this game. It just doesn't do anything.
No, I loved Alan Wake 1 and I played a chunk of Control, but not that much either.
I'm very far into Control as well.
It's one of those games that I got free, I think, on the Epic Store, and that's why I have it. But yeah, I might have to dive into that one time. But yeah, this game, Alan Wake 2, has gone more survival horror this time. So more about spooky things and like less of a straight up action game, which is really interesting. And I hope it's good. I think they were really happy with what they were doing, and they were going all out on this one. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. Next up is Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Yay! There's
another AC game.
Assassin's Creed game.
It looks like more Assassin's Creed. It even looks more like Assassin's Creed than the last couple of games look like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I think they've gone kind of back to the old blueprint. Yeah.
Like it doesn't look like the RPG versions. It definitely looks like the action game Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
there's not much more to say there.
But no, because the trailer gameplay looks kind of the similar. It's Assassin's Creed. So.
It looks like Assassin's Creed 1 and it looks like Assassin's Creed 2. It's just that.
Yeah.
Which is
all right.
Fine.
And I haven't played any of the Assassin's Creed games, so I have nothing.
I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
I have finished up until Origin. And I did play a bit of Odyssey. I didn't play Valhalla yet. I might.
But I will probably never play another Assassin's Creed until the one in Japan, in Feudal Japan comes out. I will probably not play them.
Yeah.
Too much of a time sink, and it's too samey. I don't care about the real world stuff that the future stuff in the games at all.
Yeah,
like the Abstergo stuff, I don't care. So if the setting doesn't bother me, or if the setting doesn't interest me, it's pretty much done.
Marco says that the Feudal Japan one.
They announced it. They announced it, so it's coming, but not this year.
Yeah, but she said that.
But it will. Tsushima definitely took that and ran with it.
Yeah.
And probably did a better job.
Assassin's Creed game.
It did a better job. So yeah.
I mean, it's Ubisoft, right? So they'll use the blueprint of an Assassin's Creed game and just change the location, and that's the only thing that changes.
And Tsushima was definitely better. So
yeah, it's a unique game. So yeah, we'll see. I'm not excited for Assassin's Creed games at all. So
nope.
I might look it up.
Next up is Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
No, next up is Revenant Hill.
Oh yeah, sorry. I already marked one. I marked the other thing. Revenant Hill, the cat game.
Developer. Yep.
2D. I remember this art style from some other game, but I couldn't place it.
There's
the eyes.
Games.
I remember this, but I'm not sure. Sorry?
Night in the Woods.
Yes, exactly. Is it the same developers?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Team. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a cat running through a forest. There's skeletons as well doing things. People in weird masks, and I don't know, people protesting at something. Yeah. So it's probably one of those games that has a cute art style and a very intricate message to it.
Story. Yeah, because you are playing as a cat that wants to become a familiar for a witch, I think.
Oh, okay.
Which is why you also see skeletons in the trailer.
Ah, interesting.
That are working the field and that sort of stuff. So
okay. So
that's
next up,
the only thing I know right now.
But not much info on it. Just one announcement trailer.
Yeah,
looks
it's
good.
Another cat game.
Yes, cats are a popular thing. Okay, next then the trailer or the game that I was gonna say.
The anime game.
The anime game. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. I think this was a game that's already on something else, or was this a new game?
I'm not sure.
I know that the Grand Blue Fantasy IP has quite a few games now. There's a fighting game, a versus game, but I haven't really looked into that series, so I couldn't tell you. It does look action RPG like from Japan, so that's pretty cool.
It's not.
It reminds me of Genshin Impact, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
So much.
Sort of. It's
like,
not,
is it going to be a gacha
also
game?
Also, a blue-eyed white dragon.
Traditional
game? I don't think it's going to be a free-to-play game.
Okay.
This looks like a traditional RPG with your team, and it doesn't look like a Genshin Impact. I might be wrong though.
You definitely play the different characters though, so you can either switch between the characters or.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look that up because
you could see these finishing moves from all these different characters, and it definitely looked like they were the player characters.
Yeah, you could like see them like tag teaming in, and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up because I am not sure what the game is about.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, yeah, I sometimes have difficulty telling these games apart. So, because there's so many of them now. But yeah,
I thought it was a Tales game at first.
It's an action RPG.
Yeah, it has kind of a Tales thing to it.
Yeah, their online features are supported, but it's not the base.
Oh, so maybe it's then co-op, and that's like your other
a single
players.
Player action RPG.
Single player action RPG. Okay.
Yeah, but you can co-op with up to 4 play, with up to 3 others. So
I would never do that in an RPG like this. It's just
okay. Well, that is Grand Blue Fantasy Remake.
So it is categorized as a massively multiplayer online RPG game.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so it is a Genshin Impact. There we go.
Turn-based.
It does say turn-based, yeah.
Okay, so then because we don't have a UI, so we can't see how the combat is. It looked real time, but so you choose actions for the characters then.
No, okay, so there's different things. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay, then let's just skip over the game. We don't know enough at
we
some
don't know
point.
enough, yeah.
There's a lot of information that's, weird.
Next up, Street Fighter 6.
Yes.
So they basically showed the story mode where you get to train with all these different characters. I talked about this before because you were able to play at least a little part of that in the demo, which is still available. It's okay. Like, the game is way too expensive for what it is, and that's because Capcom, finding people that like fighters will definitely spend it. But yeah, if you want to go all in on this is a $120 game, which is nuts. Just nuts.
Capcom. Yeah.
The character models look weird. Like they still look weird to me. Like they're all too bulky. They have muscles where muscles should not be.
It's one of those things where they try to translate, I guess, an anime art style into a 3D rendered art style, and they didn't use any like cell shading or anything. But they did keep the oversized features, so it looks a little bit weird because of that.
They had the same problem when they did Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It wasn't 3, it was the new one. But they also, like, the characters were extremely bulky and they looked dumb. Just dumb. So, I don't know. I'm kind of soured on the experience. I was going to get this day one. When I looked at the price proposition, I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to pick this up. And I'm going to wait until it probably goes on sale with the Battle Pass and all that stuff. So Diablo's coming out next week. It's the day and date with this game, so I'm going to stick with Diablo.
Yeah. Look at that. Pre-order for bonus content.
Yeah, obviously you get more skins and color variations because you don't unlock those anymore. Now you have to pay for those. So that's it. Next up is Ultros.
Yes.
I love this art style of this game.
It's like I think I watching a stream. Someone said, "What's this game like?"
It's color
on shrooms.
I called this color vomit.
Very
when
psychedelic.
It's
yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Rick and Morty.
Oh, that swing that he did in the beginning there kind of reminds me of Earthworm Jim a little with the blob, where you can swing from things that are blobby. Interesting. Yeah, it's very colorful art style.
Looks like a Metroidvania.
Yeah, Metroidvania.
It probably is.
Yeah,
but very psychedelic, and I love it.
Very colorful.
Weird.
I think it's color vomit. I kind of hate the art style. I really do. I think it's ugly.
Okay. It's like being in one of those nightclubs where they painted all the walls with that stuff.
It does work for me though. But
it's nicely done. I'm not sure if I will probably not play it. But
if it's a good Metroidvania, I will probably pick it up because I like my Metroidvanias. But the art style just doesn't do it for me. No. It just looks gross.
Okay.
Color vomit. Okay.
Yeah.
Color vomit. Yeah.
But yeah.
Next up, there's something that is definitely like
Genshin Impact.
Genshin Impact.
Yeah, Tower of Fantasy. I think this was I think this is the one I meant.
That's already on PC.
This is the one. I was.
I actually played it.
Okay, I haven't played it.
Okay.
So it's basically a sci-fi version of Genshin Impact. That's all it is. So you have to.
Next game.
Yep, we can skip over this.
I mean,
it does look fun with the big walking around in a mech, but
it's extremely fun if you want to spend hundreds of bucks on new characters each and every month.
Yeah, I know. That's the biggest issue with gacha games like
It's a gacha RPG. It's Genshin Impact, but it's with mechs and it's with
sci-fi stuff. Yeah,
with sci-fi stuff.
Yeah,
that's it.
Mm-hmm. It's like a factory of these games now. And
there's more coming.
And they're doing extremely well.
I think there's even a 7 Deadly Sins version coming out. That's like a Genshin Impact game.
Yep.
So yep.
Well, the anime is pretty much over. So
yeah.
I'm not interested in that one at all. Like I loved the anime, but I'm not gonna play the Genshin Impact. So next up we have Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yeah, Dragon's Dogma out of nowhere gameplay. Suddenly, it was like it was kind of dark around the game. We had an announcement trailer, and then suddenly out of nowhere on the PlayStation we got the full gameplay trailer. Which is really cool. I have the first one. I played it for a little bit, but not too long. I think I kind of want to go back to it. Because I love the idea that you can climb monsters to fight them, because usually in a fantasy action game like this, you will always like start hacking at the legs when a creature is oversized. But in this game, you can actually climb on top of them to get to their head or whatever is vulnerable. Another thing that made the original game really cool was the magic. There was some very elaborate magic in the game, which looks. The effects were really cool.
I do have to say that the art style for this game, they really upgraded it compared to the original.
Yeah, but it still does have the same style. Like I could recognize instantly that, this is definitely Dragon's Dogma.
Same.
The environments and just how they did the creatures and everything. Of course, the dragons look a little bit the same as well still. But very, very cool. I hope it's a good game. I think I've trusted developers of this.
What I hated about the first game, sorry to interject, I hated the voice acting.
No, it's good.
This one's better. The voice acting was atrociously bad. It was people trying to do posh British and old British, and they just couldn't pull it off. I never finished the game because I couldn't move past the voice acting, and there was no option to change it from just bad English.
Yeah,
so
Japanese or something. Yeah,
you couldn't change it. So I never finished the game because I just literally I couldn't hear it. I couldn't listen to it. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And I know that the gameplay is actually good, but couldn't look past the voice acting.
Yeah, it's fun. This is like one of those a little bit of a cult classic games, the first one, and I think a lot of people were really excited to see this. So
I mean, you can drop small meteorites on people. That's very cool. Like they come out of nowhere.
The dragons look cool.
Yeah,
really cool.
It's always cool when it's not just like apply magic attack and it does a certain damage number. There's actually physical weight to everything.
Yeah.
Like it does things as big as they as they present them to be. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Very physical fantasy combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That was that. And then, oh God.
We can skip over this one.
Yeah. So the next one is Five Nights at Freddy's, but we're going to skip it because it's Five Nights at Freddy's. Very short trailer.
I don't think any one of us are fans of this.
I'm not a FNAF fan.
No.
There's a movie coming, and of course they have to have a game around the same time as well. So of course. And this is also Help Wanted 2, which I didn't know there was a 1.
No.
So yeah, but it's Five Nights at Freddy's. We all know what that's about. Jump scares.
There we go.
All right, next up, we're going to some VR stuff.
PSVR stuff.
Yes.
Yep.
First up, of course, Resident Evil is getting a VR mode.
Yes.
Evil 4.
So they had one on Quest a while back. which was exclusive to that. And now they're basically making a new one, or at least they're adding it to Resident Evil 4 Remake. Yeah. So if you already own Resident Evil 4, you're going to add it, and you can play the entire game in VR.
Yeah.
Which might be
which
cool.
Is absolutely cool, and I will definitely do that. So
yeah, blocking in first person though, it's kind of chaotic. I wonder
also
if,
it's terrifying.
It's difficult. Yeah,
it's terrifying.
Yeah,
especially with the blocking of the chainsaw, which you see in just a few seconds. That's just terrifying. Look at that.
Oh man, just the swing that he comes in with, like some stuff that you would usually see the distance, in third person.
It looks really good.
Suddenly it's like in your face. This I can't wait to see people play this.
It's gonna be
just to look at the reactions, stuff like that. That's gonna be funny. There's gonna be really funny clips from that.
I can see people really being scared.
Yeah. So that was cool.
So next up, we're already here.
Yeah.
Arizona Sunshine 2.
Yeah. So sequel. I kind of like it. It's funny because I saw a lot of cringe in the chat but I kind of liked the humor. So what? I don't know.
Blah
I
blah
blah
blah blah.
Yeah, that was kind of okay. Maybe not, but just like how he talks to the guy here. I thought it was kind of quirky. It was kind of fun. But I haven't played the first one. Yeah, it doesn't take itself seriously. Just wacky fun with zombies. Basically.
I like the blah 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 blah. That was actually funny to me.
The physics stuff is fun.
Yeah.
So it's a zombie game. That's
and it's also pretty. It's also a pretty game. It's always nice when we have VR games that look good, and don't look like a toy box. So that's a good thing. But as we will see now, there's a lot of shooters and first-person action stuff. Because next up is Crossfire Sierra Squad, which is a Crossfire is a franchise that is very popular, I think, in Korea.
Yeah,
which is basically sort of like a Counter-Strike game, and of course they have a VR version now, which is, I guess, fun for people who like Crossfire. But I don't know how many in Europe and America play it.
Didn't Microsoft try to bring Crossfire here as well? But
they did.
Yes. That was funny, yes, because there was a campaign attached to that to Crossfire. That was made by Remedy, yeah. It completely fell flat, I think. Nobody cares about that game.
No.
So
that kind of in North America and in Europe, I think.
Yeah.
Now Sony is trying. It's interesting.
Yeah. With the VR.
But
maybe the VR might be more interesting, but
I mean, it's cool to have VR multiplayer games. We mostly have single player, so seeing something like a shooter multiplayer is cool. The problem, of course, is there going to be a big enough install base for it to play it? Because it is multiplayer. Yeah. So I'm not sure actually if it's just multiplayer.
I mean, if it's crossplay, it might be.
We'll see.
Maybe.
Time will tell.
Yeah. Next up is Synapse.
Yes, and we talked about this game before, and it looked really interesting because it had that kind of super hot vibe.
Oh, right. This is the David Hayter voice game, right?
Yeah.
I think it's the main character is voiced. And then I'm kind of like, okay, they have David Hayter, and he does the Snake voice. I'm like, okay, voice actors have more range than that, but they probably asked him to do it. Yeah. So they probably asked him to do that. Can you do the gravelly voice, please?
It's the same with Nolan North. Everybody wants the Drake voice.
Yeah.
He was also the Penguin in the Arkham games, which
I know
was really different and was really good.
Yeah, let the actors do something different. But I guess he got paid well.
But this looks like a fun game.
Yeah, I like the style of it.
Yeah.
And of course, physics stuff is always fun.
I think it's pretty much an auto runner, so it will move on its own accord, and you just have to try to finish the level, get better scores, stuff like that.
Yeah,
and not die. I have a feeling like it's auto. It's very auto. I don't think you walk. I think it's auto. It's an auto walker.
I'm
not sure because he's like in cover here.
Yeah,
I think it's more freeform.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think just for the trailer, just keeping the momentum going.
It's very much a momentum shooter then.
I think the momentum would make you sick if you would have to do it yourself. But we'll see.
Yeah.
It's on my list. It's probably going to be one of those PSVR games I'm willing to pick up. Yeah. So I already picked this up. It's just more Beat Saber. We can skip over this. I talked about it at the beginning.
Beat Saber.
I mean, it was surprising that they said, it's out now. So,
all right, next up, a very surprising announcement. But as soon as I got more information, people were like, "Oh,
yeah,"
because Bungie decided to dust off one of their older IPs called Marathon, which was originally a first-person game for the Mac of all platforms, in the style of Doom, basically. But what Bungie does well and today, usually, and what they did well then was write lore and story into that. So the gameplay was fairly simple, if I remember correctly. It was just finding switches and shooting enemies. But there was a big lore thing behind it. And now they come back to this franchise with Marathon. They just call it Marathon. So I was thinking, okay, this is a reboot, and they're going to do a single-player campaign and everything. But no, this is an extraction shooter.
It is.
So in the vein of Hunt Showdown or Escape from Tarkov, which is really interesting idea because I kind of like extraction shooter format. But I'm not sure if people wanted this from Marathon as a franchise.
Yeah, we don't know. It might be good. I'm not sure. I do love the entire style of the trailer, though.
Yeah, the art style is really cool.
Different, and with all the different colors and
you basically collect attachments because you're like a cybernetic or like a enhanced soldier, I think.
Yeah, might be. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if you're full robot or you're just like enhanced. Because the face is all white and stuff. I'm not sure how it works. But yeah, it's like I'm not sure how much it has to do with the original series. Because it's like I think Code Carnage, who is really knowledgeable about this game or the original game, said this doesn't look at all like the original Marathon.
No.
Like not in art style, not in themes, but then again, the enemy that you see with the glowing thing is something that was in the original. Like that's an enemy I could recognize. But yeah, it's going to be an extraction shooter. I have no idea if it's going to be good. They want to make this an extraction shooter so the players like tell the stories. They have this whole marketing talk about it. They had some vid docs about it, explaining a little bit about the game. But yeah, I have no idea. I hope it's good. We're gonna have to see. But yeah, that's one of those things where we only have an announcement trailer and nothing else. So
I do know that I had told that before to you earlier, Metzman, is that Bungie, because of this announcement, and I think they also released all the Marathon games under a very open license. Yeah,
you just shared that with me. Indeed. Yeah. So you can grab the original games, I guess, for free. I was kind of hoping that they would at least like put out like a master or a remaster, because they released the original Marathon games on the Xbox 360 arcade back then. So I don't know. I would love to see that come back as well, so people could at least like understand what where Marathon came from.
Yeah,
but I don't see any hints of them doing that. So.
No. Well, the thing is that it's released under an open source, under a super permissive license. So it might be that people will start to make upgraded versions, graphics updates and that sort of stuff. So open source stuff does really well in that regard.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
I hope something cool comes from that then.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, more Bungie stuff because we have Destiny 2: The Final Shape, which sounds like a final expansion.
I'm not sure.
I mean,
they brought back Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, which surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm totally not into Destiny, so I don't know where the story is at right now.
No, me neither.
But it's this is definitely a character I recognize, and of course, Nathan Fillion is very recognizable.
Yes.
Kate 6 used to. He died like 5 years ago, and they said he was dead for good, but apparently he's coming back.
Yep.
But that's all they showed. I haven't played Destiny for years. It's very convoluted to get back into Destiny. I looked it up, and I'm not even sure what freaking pack you have to buy to get back into it.
No,
because just the final expansion isn't good enough.
No.
So that doesn't make sense. Anyway, really hard to get into, so we can skip over Destiny.
Yeah.
None of us actually have something to say about it.
Somehow Nathan Fillion returned.
Yeah. Somehow we returned.
He gets another paycheck. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I mean,
Next
easy,
up,
but-
we have another new game, random game that we don't a lot about. It's an indie game, I think. Or
no, it's not. It's not an indie game. It's the new studio that Sony bought, Firewalk Studio.
Oh, right, Firewalk.
And they really liked what they saw from this game. And looking at the trailer, I do dig the aesthetic very, very much.
Me too. I love the sloppy Joe.
Yeah, not just that, but like everything about it. The colors, it's very early 80s.
Yeah.
So, those old TDK VHS style logos on tapes and that sort of stuff. I just love that aesthetic. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy uses that as well.
Yeah. That's what my thought was as well.
It's all those different colors. Concord is a brand new game from Firewalk Studios, and I think it's going to be another free-to-play open battle game. I'm not pretty sure what I read about it.
Yeah, there's because the trailer doesn't show anything. It just shows the inside of a ship.
Yeah,
and then going in sort of like a, I don't know, like warp drive-ish thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they show the logo. That's about it. Yeah.
So very little info to go on, but looks cool.
Very little info.
Okay, after that they showed the Gran Turismo movie trailer, so I don't really care.
It's a movie about a guy that won Gran Turismo, then started driving for real in real life, and that's where that ended. So up next,
Concord is a new PvP multiplayer FPS from Firewalk Studios, which comes simultaneously, I think, to PS5 and PC. So it's a new sci-fi universe, and not much else info. It's first person, and that's all we know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next up, they did a hardware release, right?
Yes.
Or at least a hardware announced. Two of them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
So Jim came back on screen, unfortunately, and he showed us two pieces of hardware. So the first one is an 8-inch screen remote play device that will work within your Wi-Fi. Yeah. So this is the worst looking thing I've ever seen.
It probably works really well.
It probably does, but it looks like they just welted the controller. They cut the controller in two, then they welted a screen in the middle, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I can see a use for this, like when the kids are watching something on TV or anything that you can grab this, you can play it. So it's a 1080p screen. It has 60 hertz, so don't be expecting 120 hertz on this thing or 4K. We don't know a price point. We don't know how well it works. It works with streaming, so you need to have the stuff installed on your actual PlayStation to use it.
It's more like the Vita idea, like Marco says.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a missed opportunity because if it had cloud gaming, cloud support as well, I think it would have been a lot better.
It might have it because they are hiring for cloud engineers right now.
Oh, okay.
So it might come along so somewhere down the road, or it might be there already, but they're just not willing to talk about it yet. Like we don't know a pricing, we don't know a release date, we don't know anything about this.
True.
All we know is that it's called Project Q internally, so that's not how they're going to sell it. They're going to change the name eventually. They're not going to,
of course.
And it might support cloud, but we don't know. Honestly, we don't know. They said it's a remote play device, which is fine. Mm-hmm. Cloud would make it more appealing. I can see that. Although I've seen cloud work terribly on PlayStation's end, so I'm hoping these engineers that they're hiring are making it better.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues with cloud gaming on PC and PlayStation 4
I don't have it on PC. I have it on PS5 for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, it's terrible.
Okay. Weird. I don't have any issues with it. I played Samurai Warriors 4 on it, and even Riders Republic and Haven. They all work fine.
I played, what was it? The game where Charles Martinet is doing the Runner. It's also Runner. I played Runner on it, Bit Trip Runner, and it just runs like crap.
Huh. I haven't tried that one, so.
Okay. Maybe it's games, that's certain games.
It might be like PS3 stuff that's the issue. I don't know.
I mean, Samurai Warriors 4 is PlayStation 3 stuff, so
it might not be all. I don't know.
It might depend on each game.
I also had problems with Phineas and Ferb. But moving back, so the other thing they announced, and we can see it on the screen now, is new earbuds. Yeah. So there's a problem with PS5. PS5 doesn't support Bluetooth, so you can't just hook up any Bluetooth device. So that's why they created these earbuds. They obviously already had the headphones, but now they have in-ear earbuds, which will work on PC as well as they will work on...
and on your mobile devices, I think.
They didn't specify mobile devices. They just specified PC and PlayStation, so I'm going to keep... I'm not really sure. I hope it works on your phone, or that would be nice, but not sure. Well, it will probably come with a Bluetooth dongle that you will have to put in your PlayStation, and then all the work. So that's what they did on.
Does the PlayStation not have Bluetooth built in?
Nope.
Oh, interesting.
They decided against it.
All right. Well, the final thing of the show. This was one of those other fake out things, because when I saw this opening to the trailer, I was like, Turok? And
oh no!
And then I was like, Dino Crisis? And then suddenly, of course, this character that I actually recognized. I'm not too much into the Marvel universe, but I did recognize
Craven
the name
Hunter.
Craven. Craven the Hunter. Yeah.
I first thought of Wolverine game.
Oh yeah, could also have been That's also a good one. Yeah.
It was Spider-Man. Yeah.
When I saw the big fluffy neck thing, I was like, oh yeah, that's Craven. So we're going into Spider-Man 2. That fairly long demonstration, story cutscenes plus multiple gameplay segments.
Yep. Not a lot of story cutscenes. Most of his gameplay.
Yeah, true. But like they opened with this, and then there's a bit more.
Of course, yeah.
And then it goes into gameplay, and of course, the new thing is that you can switch between characters. So we have Spider-Man, we have Venom, and we have
Spider-Man.
Other Spider Dude, right?
No, it's Spider-Man.
Oh, it's two. Is it two?
No, they're both called Spider-Man.
Oh, right. There's Spider-Man and Spider. Jeez, God, this is going to be so confusing. Yeah. But yeah.
That's also an in-joke in the comic universe. So.
Yeah, probably. So Spider-Verse stuff. They showed off the new combat using the Venom powers, which is pretty cool. I'm not too far into the Marvel stuff, so I don't know if there's any like iconic things that he does here. I've seen the Venom movie as well, so yeah. It's mostly just tentacles throwing things and stuff.
I mean, the most iconic thing is that he sounds very angry.
Oh yeah. He still has his normal voice, right? Sort of. But he talks with an attitude, like he's a badass, like he's a Chad.
It gave me flashbacks to the '90s Spider-Man cartoon. It's like a meme nowadays. Is that he's after Shocker in the symbiote suit, and he's very angry, and it was so good and so over the top. So it's so funny.
Also, Miles can glide now. So he couldn't do that before.
Nope.
It just looks like more Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it looks good. Like it's this trailer or the slice of gameplay they show is very much based on set pieces. So they're going to show they showed a little bit of stealth, which is fine, and they mostly showed set pieces.
Yeah.
Oh, the most important, the most fun thing, I think, with the new stealth stuff is that you can make new ways to be stealthy.
Yeah, I like the little, like, what he does here in the video is create little bridges.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you could do that in the first one. I don't think so.
You could do stuff like that in the second one.
In the mouse game. Okay. Yeah. I didn't see too much of that game, so okay.
I didn't play that yet, so
yeah.
Wanted to play it on PlayStation 5. So
I mean, yeah, this looks very run-of-the-mill, kind of the same style of game as the first two then. With some new moves, of course, which they, of course, going to show off in this trailer. Just to see,
great.
Show off what's real, what's new. And then there's, at the end, they show a very big chase sequence.
Yep.
Let's get to that.
Very Naughty Dog style.
Yeah, I'm not too fond of that, as I guess it's very cinematic, and it's very... But there's so much happening.
Oh, yeah.
Like at the same time, like even like movies don't really do that. Like there's usually like some cool stuff happening, but this is like there's so much. This like they're being chased by, I think, the lizard as well.
No, they are chasing the lizard.
Yeah, they are chasing the lizard, and then he gets chased by the lizard later, I think. But there's also the guy in the chopper thing,
the helicopter.
In the thing. I don't know. I guess it's cool. These sequences probably happen like in between the other
they're
stuff,
few and
right?
far between. They're not constant. No. You had the same thing happen in the first game, that they did a helicopter chase, and at some point you had to web the helicopter so it wouldn't land on civilians.
Yeah. That was in the announcement as well, right?
Yeah, so
the first game.
Yeah, so that's just set pieces. The game is about 20 hours. At least the first game was about 20 hours long, and there were like 5 of those set pieces in total. Yeah. So it's definitely not the brunt of the gameplay.
Yeah, it's definitely showcase stuff. For the show. Yeah, that's what I figured as well. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you love Spider-Man and you love these games, then you're probably going to have a good time, I guess. I'm personally not really interested in it.
I am. I played all of them, including Morales. So I'm looking forward to playing this one. It's probably going to be like a day one release for me. I'll definitely pick it up. I platinumed both.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah,
I platinumed literally every version.
Okay.
So I played them till completion.
Yeah, I also platinumed the first game. Like I said, I haven't played Miles Morales yet. I do need a PlayStation 5. But this looks really good, though.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's always. I'm always amazed by how, because all these little scenes have so many different animations and this stuff. Everything is. There's so much handcrafted things in here.
Yeah.
And that's just really cool. That's just talent at work from the developers.
Yeah.
Like all these little moments.
Insomniac is amazing when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yeah, they're really good at this. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Showing off, on the showcase.
You've played Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, right?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff they did in that game that was super nice to look at as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Although they look more like tricks, and they definitely upped the ante for this one.
Yeah. I mean, their skills went up again and again and again. So, yeah.
But also, they have like 2 teams working, so.
True.
Yeah. And it definitely looks like a sequel. Like they added a lot of stuff in here. Like they definitely showcased like, okay, we stepped up our game.
So, I do hate that they showed the black symbiote, the suit on Peter. I don't really like that. Because it's definitely farther into the story. Because at the end of the first one, and I'm gonna spoil like literally the ending of the first one. It's a 2016 game, so if you haven't played it by now, shame on you.
I'm just gonna put the mute thing on this.
It's been out on PC for a while now, so
even on PC, I think it's been like 2 years.
Yeah,
but at the end, you find Harry. So Harry has been on the phone with you, or basically you're leaving him voicemails, and he left you a few messages as well. So your best friend Harry Osborn, and at the end, you figure out that he's in a tank with his dad because he's sick. And then you see the symbiote for just a second in the tank with him. And that's when the game stops. So it's showing that Peter has the symbiote here and has the black suit. It's kind of spoiling what's happening with that. And I don't know. I would have liked to discover that myself when the game came out. I didn't really want to see that in the showcase.
He also mentions in the start of this that Harry is sick. That he's trying to find something to help Harry. So that's in this showcase trailer itself mentioned. So that's all we know, though. But
now we know that the symbiote came to Peter for some weird reason, while it wasn't Harry before. So there's I don't know. I didn't need to see that. That's
I guess it's also just really hard for the developer not to, since it's probably something that happens at the beginning of the game, maybe, or at least early.
I think it's like halfway. But I think it's going to be like a halfway point.
It might be, but they do that with a lot of games, unfortunately. So, movie trailers show scenes that are from the end of the movie.
I know, but it doesn't mean I have to like it.
No, I don't like it either. To be honest, I hate when they spoil movies like that. So.
But I think that was it for the showcase.
Yeah, that was it for the showcase.
Which was okay.
Yeah. I wasn't too keen on it. I think just because most games didn't really gravitate towards me, I guess.
That's the CGI stuff. No gameplay.
Okay, let's go around. If you would have to rate this showcase, what would you rate? Metzman, let's start with you.
I'd say for my personal taste, I would say a 6.
Bosh, how about you?
I am gravitating between a 6 and a 7 because there were plenty of indie games that really caught my eye. And Spider-Man, it ended on a high note, so that's good. But it wasn't. I never expect anything from showcases, but I would have loved to see more. Yeah, I mean they wanted to vary stuff more, which they kind of did. But also no gameplay for like 3-4 games that they published themselves.
There's just a lot of question marks for me. Yeah. Like, what is this, basically?
Yes.
For me, it's a 6 as well. Mostly because the stuff that they showed, either they showed it off early and we don't know what it is, or I couldn't get excited for it. And the stuff that made me that did get me excited about a certain video game is stuff we already knew about. It's Spider-Man. It's it was Final Fantasy because I really liked that trailer. But that's stuff that's that's coming this year. We knew about, and I was already planning on buying. So there's no new stuff there that actually gave me a wow factor, except for Beat Saber. But I don't really count that one because it's basically an old game that came to hardware that definitely needed something like that.
And we already knew it was coming anyway.
Yeah, when it was already announced. Just sure when. The fact that it was a shadow drop was nice, but
that's very nice. Yeah,
still no Bloodborne.
That's about it.
Still no Bloodborne.
I wonder if we'll ever get a Bloodborne.
I don't think.
I don't think so.
Either a remake or a sequel.
Well, maybe a remake by Bluepoint, but other than that, I'm not really. I'm not expecting a Bloodborne to do.
We're definitely not going to get a Bloodborne cart. So.
Yeah. We're getting one,
That's a very, very big joke.
No, it's actually it's not a joke anymore. It's a project.
I think, but it's just fans, right? So,
it's made by a fan, but it started as a joke and then it became a real thing.
Yeah, I mean,
so I follow her on Twitter, and she gives up like dev updates every month or every week, adding new characters. There's going to be combat mode in it as well. So it's just not only karting, but it's multiplayer. Right. It's combat mode. So it's going to be a whole thing. So that's cool.
I didn't know. I thought it was just a running joke, but okay.
Yeah, no, just look her up, and it's really neat what she's making. So
okay.
All right. That's going to be it for today, I think.
Yes.
I had some news, but we can't fit that in.
We ran out of time.
Yeah, we ran out of time. All right. So let's close up. Benjiro. Or what? Do you want to say something?
You're going to have to send me some stuff because apparently my disk was full.
Oh, your hard drive.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm missing a lot of stuff I said.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I guess you can get it from the video and then.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll figure that out after. Benjiro, where can they find you and what are you going to do the coming week?
What I'm going to do, I have no idea what I'm going to do. So probably play some games. We'll see.
If you have the time.
You can find me on Twitter, Pixels Sprites. You can find me on Twitch here. If I do have time, I might stream here. But I'm gonna have to walk 5 kilometers for 4 nights in a row next week. Speaking of that, the podcast next week will either be canceled or we'll have to move to Saturday, or I won't be available. So keep an eye on Pixels at Pixel Sprites on Twitter to stay updated on what we'll be doing next week. Otherwise, we'll be here.
All right, Vash, where can people find you and what are you going to do?
Well, they can find me on Twitter at PVBikun, PVBAIKUN. And what I'm going to do is probably finish definitely chapter 2 of Bolt Gun. Maybe the entire game on medium. I am not good at the super good at the game, so I probably won't be playing it on hard. But I do. But I have an interest in finding all the secrets. So we'll see when that happens. And I'm not sure what I'm going to play next.
It's always a question.
Yeah, I did get all the achievements for Vampire Survivors recently. So
nice.
So, yeah,
you've been busy.
Yeah, I've been busy on that, and that's when I did that. I decided, look, Halls of Torment is out on early access, so I bought that as well.
Up next, yeah. All right. All right. Well, you can find me on Twitter at the Metzman, as the TheMetzman. And coming week, I will probably be playing some Bolt Gun. I will play some more Yacht. And of course, I will be collecting more stars in Mario Galaxy 2. And there's always new stuff. There's a couple of games that have been released on Steam and some discounts on things that I did not expect. So I don't know, maybe I'll buy it and go and dive into that. I'm
dying to know what the $1.99 discount was.
Oh yeah, that was a game that's been on my wish list for a very long time. But I'm just mildly interested in. I think it's called American Fugitive, which is like sort of like a GTA style game, top-down action game. Yeah. So I saw that. I was like, wait, why is that from $20 to $1.99 now? Thank you for probably
it's been out for a while.
Yeah, it's an older game. I was just surprised by the discount. I was like, wait a minute. So I think the video game season has kind of been opened right now. Games are coming out, so we'll see what we'll play and what we'll leave hanging. That's it for today, and that's it for this week. And we'll see you next time. Maybe, depending on our plans. Keep an eye on the Twitter for Pixels and Sprites, so you can see where we are at live. Maybe Friday, maybe Saturday, and maybe canceled. So, see you next time.
We'll be in Diablo.
Yes, maybe.
Knee deep in blood.
Bye, guys.
Good night, guys. See you later.